Hey guys, it's Alex. Welcome back to Collection Neo. Here with another review, of course, and today we're back with First for Figures, and we're back in the world of Dark Souls. We have Solaire. This is the exclusive edition of Solaire. As you can see him at the moment, he's in regular form, and we're going to go over everything on the statue. How does he fit in with Sif and Artorias? I will do a bit of a display shot at the end, so stick around for that. And we'll go over all the little trinkets and blah, 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 all the bits it comes with. So where to start? Well, this is the third in First Figures Dark Souls line. The first being Artorias, second Sif, third Solaire. And then we have two pre-orders which haven't been released yet, which is Ornstein, who went up for order last January, and Mimic, who went up for order a few weeks ago, maybe before Christmas. And I've got to say, up to this point, I'm all in, but I didn't get Mimic. It just didn't do it for me at the price point. I'm not really that interested in Mimic. I prefer the non-player characters and the bosses. So I skip Mimic, which is kind of sad when you're following the line and you want to try and get every piece. To skip a piece is a bit gutting, but there we go. Hopefully, I know the next piece is Nito, which again, to be honest, I'm not too thrilled about. It's going to be a big, expensive piece, and I'm not that interested in some of these bosses they're going for. Artorias and Ornstein are just fucking cool looking knights, big armored knights. But I'm not really interested in Nito. He's never been a favourite of mine at all. So, we'll have to see how we go with the rest of this line. I really, really want an Elite Knight armor set at Bonfire, Oscar of a Story. But First Figures don't seem to be listening. But we'll see how it goes. Apparently there's plenty more Dark Souls coming from Alex and the boys, so which I wouldn't be surprised at. But maybe it's time for, move on. I would prefer some more smaller NPCs like Solaire, which we'll go into in a bit, because this is, if you don't know, the Dark Souls line is a 1/6 line, and this is kind of the first statue that represents it being 1/6, as Artorias and Sith and Ornstein are all huge bosses, so they're, completely out of scale, really. They're in scale for 1/6, but they're not normal human sized. So a 1/6 character should be about 12 inches. Just to let you know that Solaire is 13 inches, and I think with the bucket head, and that's from the back of the feet, because if you look at the stance that he's in, you can see he's got this elevation here, so I've literally measured from here up to the top of that bucket head, and he is spot on 13 inches, bit of arch in the back as well. So I think they've got the scale pretty much right on him. I've seen other people saying he's a bit too big, but for me, 13 inches for this sort of character, spot on. And he does scale well with Artie and Sif, as you'll see at the end of the video. So as usual, First Figures, we get a few little bits and bobs. Now this was a day one pre-order. Let's go over there. So first thing you get is your registration card. So that you go onto the website, you can register it, you get the same number. So my Artorias exclusive was number 140, and then because I followed the line, I've continued to get 140. So my Sif is 140, my Solaire is 140, my Ornstein will be 140, which is a nice little thing if you're into your numbers. I ordered this on day one as soon as it went up. So I got my day one card. Sadly, not a gold one this time. If you don't know, that is Alex Davis' signature, who owns First Figures. If you get a gold signature, you get an extra 1,000 reward points, which is equivalent to $10, which is always nice. There's the back of it. Where are the card holders, First Figures? I've got so many of these cards now. I think this is my 11th First Figures piece I've got still. And I've got a ton of these cards, and it'd be nice to display them. Because this was day one, we got the day one sticker, which you can peel off and stick on the base, or stick where you want. I personally don't stick mine anywhere. Which has now changed to Signature Edition. So it's gone from 0 hour to day one to Signature Edition. Come on, boys. choose something and stick to it. And promotional flyer, as you can see, there's Guts, there's Orny, we got Crash, we got Shovel Knight, we got Alucard, we got Snake, we got Tacky, and the Purple Boy Spyro. Lots of links. If you're a big, actually, if you're a First Figures fan, you should be in the First Figures official collectors club. That is the main place to go for First Figures related stuff. Very interactive. It's a rather nice community. And there's all your rules and why to authenticate and all that sort of stuff, which I'm sure you can find more on the website. So just before we get into this, because I've completely forgot to tell you, this is the exclusive version of Solaire. Like I said, he was $345, which, considering the bits that he comes with, is pretty much a bargain. And he's limited to 825 pieces. Now, I've only just looked that up. I was actually surprised. I thought that Solaire would do more. You know, Artie and Sith were 1,200, both over 1,000 in edition size. But Solaire only did 825. But now I'm just sitting here thinking about it. There was a 3rd edition, so maybe that's why. So what they also did was a version called Praise-the-Sun. Let's go over this while I'm going over it. So they did a 3rd edition, which basically looked like a statue, but it was cast in clear resin, in clear orange resin, and it's had a fantastic light-up feature where you turn it on, and there was summon sign that would appear around the base, and then LEDs would rise up through Solaire's body, so like you just summoned him. So they also did that edition, and they did a combo edition, which included this exclusive and the Praise-the-Sun version, as they call it, with the LEDs running through it. So maybe that's why this was a bit low, because they offered more SKUs. I can't remember. I think the combo pack was about $650. They do amazing discounts on like combos, and if you're buying more than one and things like that. Pricing's always one of First Figure's strongest things, and because they've got warehouses all over the world, you don't even pay taxes. So I've paid no tax on this. It comes from Europe. It's a great thing. But if you go onto the, like I say, join the Collectors Club, you'll get all that information. It feels like I do this every First Figure statue I review, but I feel like not a lot of people know that information. So, you know, you can save a hell of a lot of money by buying direct from First Figures. It makes sense to buy direct from First Figures. And of course, you can go for these exclusive editions. The regular version, by the way, there's 700 of them. This weird thing that First Figures does, where an exclusive will always sell more than a regular, because that's what they want to sell. That's what they push, the exclusives. And the regular was only $295. So this one was $50 more, but you can see where the $50 has gone. So let's jump into Solaire. Enough talking. I know you guys hate me talking, but hey, that's what I do. Let's go down to the base first. And we will not be talking about Solaire memes and sunbros and do you even praise and all that shit. We keep it straight Dark Souls here. So yeah, base, basic Rocky base. We have a button on the back, which we'll get into in a bit, and a little USB port and an indicator light, which we'll also get into in a bit. Base, simple. It's okay. It's nothing special. It's nicely painted, nice few different colours of rocks, some nice moss in between. All done. Usual First Figure standards. You know, clean. No real issues. It's an okay base. I would have preferred... I am a sucker for a bit of a diorama base, and I don't mind paying a bit extra. I wouldn't have minded more of a... I don't know, weapons on the base or anything like that. I like a cluttered base. I'm a sucker for a cluttered base. But we do get an alternate base, as you'll see, with the exclusive. I mean, to be honest, what you're seeing here, like I say, is the reg, is so iconic, I don't think it'd really matter if you got the exclusive or not. I think the exclusive is nice, but I don't think it's super necessary. But yeah, let's carry on. Chainmail on the feet, as you can see, he's on tippy toe. So what First Figures actually did They were worried about leaning issues, so they actually added a couple of pieces here at the back. It's very, very invisible. Not noticeable whatsoever. All the armour, as usual, paints are super high standard. You've got all dark, like brassy colours and rust running through the armour. And the back of the legs. I mean, First Figures, you know, apart from all the other things that they do really, really well, production quality is, you know, I deny anyone to say if they've got bad production quality, because everything's always spot on. I mean, it's not a super complicated piece, you know, but what's there is done really, really well, as you can see in his loincloth. Nice textures going on here, fade into a bit of dirt where it's all been torn, the belt, the sword and the sheath. I'm just going to say as well while I'm reviewing this, it's so nice to have a small statue, you know, after Gamera and Guyver and all this other stuff which is so big and so bulky. It's nice to be able to, you know, have a small statue and just a little bit of rotation on the Lazy Susan. And we'll just come up the back while we're here. As you can see, we've got mixed media here. He's actually, I needed to fluff that up a bit. Let's do that now. So this is all like a mixed media. It's a really nice thick fur. It's really, really well done. I do like a bit of media on my statues, I must admit, when it's necessary or when it works. And here, this really, really works. The fluff is great. The fur. You wouldn't like me calling it fluff. And then we've got the big sun logo on his chest, of course. And then the old bucket head. See if we can get a bit closer in on that bucket head for you. The feather does detach as a separate piece. But yeah, the bucket head's pretty spot on. Like I say, the pose is so iconic. Hand. Let's take a hand off and have a close-up look, because I haven't had a chance really to go over this guy. So this is kind of live. And there was someone posted the hands were clumped together. They weren't painted well. So let's just check that out. It's totally fine. You know, his fingers are together. You're going to get slight clumping, but from what this guy was making out, it was like the worst thing. Remember, this says 1/6, so it's a lot smaller. It's a perfectly formed hand. There's no problem whatsoever, and from what I can see here, the other one's exactly the same. That's backwards. Yeah, so let's carry on. The top of the bucket head. I say this fur is one of my favourite parts of it. It's nice to see a bit First Figures using a bit of media here and there. You got the straps around the arms, all the rust. I mean, trust me, this sort of thing where the rust looks like it's in clumps on camera. I don't know how it will come out when it's on YouTube, but in hand it's like it's subtle and it like bleeds into the normal silver of the chainmail. It's really well blended. But yeah, details are spot on. Paintwork's fantastic. Like I say, I'll challenge anyone who says First Figures haven't got decent production. Very wrong. So that is your regular version. So if you buy the exclusive, what do you get? We get switch out hands. So the first hand is him holding his shield. So this is kind of exclusive versions if you summon him into battle. This is more like just the pose, as you know, it's a very famous pose. But if you summon Solaire in to help you do a boss, then he summons him with his sword and shield. So we've got Sunlight Shield. This is actually really well done. It's like, I don't know how well it'll pick it up on camera. It looks quite glossy, but it's not. It's quite dull. And it's like really well faded, and I like the bit of wear here and there. It's really light, that is, as well. So you're not going to have any leaning issues, or, you know, this isn't going to bring the statue down. So that's the first piece you get. Second piece is, of course, the Sunlight Straight Sword, which is obviously on the Sif's base as well. And this is
metal. First Figures use die-cast metal for most of their weapons and swords, which is, it's just like, it feels such good quality. It's a really, really nice touch. And then you also get, now there's a bit of controversy over this, you also get a sheath without the sword in, because obviously if he's displaying the sword, he's not going to have a sword in his sheath. They kind of forgot this. There's a bit of controversy over it, but then they decided, hey, because what happens with First Figures is they send statues out to like Australia first, because they're close to Asia, and they're like the guinea pigs, and all these guys are getting into Australia and like, there's no empty sheath. So luckily they can catch that then when it goes out to America and Europe and the rest of the world, the problem's sorted. A lot of people complain that, they're waiting for, people have got their statue and they're waiting and they don't see why they should. But issues like this pop up. It's super good that, that it's sorted. It's sorted. No one, they haven't got to send out a load more extra. They can literally address that while it's still at the factory. And then the last piece for your exclusive, and probably the most important piece, is an alternate base, which again is that big sun logo. It's kind of carved in. You don't see a lot of the face because you've got the, obviously where the statue pegs in. And then again, they put these extra bits on for that stability. And we've got a big magnet there. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to pause. I'm going to switch him out. So I'm not going to do it on camera. And then, because obviously I've got to take the statue off to get the base off, it's a little bit awkward. And then we'll set him up for the exclusive parts. So I'll be back any second. Boom! There we go. So as you can see, we'll have another whip round him now with the exclusive bits in. Got this sword and shield in. And the new base. Now I've got to say I do really, really like it with the base in. I really, really like it with the sword and shield in. With the sword and shield, he's pretty massive actually for a 1/6 because of that. Let me just get that. Yeah, about 21 inches. So, he's not a small piece because, he's so outstretched. And as you can see, as we go around, you've got that huge sunlight shield. So not only have you got that imagery on the front of his tabard, you've got it on the shield, and now you've also got it on the base. And of course, we have switched out the sheath, so it's no longer got the sword in. And then we'll go down to the base. Now the base does have a light up. First Figures, some of the best light ups in the business. I'm going to kind of get an angle and then I'm going to turn some lights off for you guys. And that'll be okay. So that one off. That one off. And there we go. We've got a nice light up base. It's very orange. I don't know how I think it'll come out on camera. But in hand it's very red here, yellow, orangey, and you can really see the outline. It's really nicely done. And the lights fill out right to the edges as well. It's very, very nicely done. Now, what I have never talked about, because this is the first Figures piece I've had with a light up for a while, and what they do now is, which I did mention earlier, let's get the lights back on. If we go right down, down, down. So there's your button, if you're on and off. And then here we've got a USB port and a LED indicator. So what you also get with this is a USB cable, which is just a mini USB. And what you also get is a battery. Now it's not a normal battery, it's a big, I'm not going to take it out, but it's a big purple rechargeable battery. Now all First Figures light ups and anything that uses batteries in the base now uses this method, and it's such a great idea. So basically you put this rechargeable battery in, you can plug this in via USB into a PlayStation, into a USB hub, into a plug that plugs into the wall, and you plug it into there and the statue lights up. But while you've got it plugged in, it's also charging the battery that's inside. So if you want to charge it and then move it, you get that light up, and then as soon as the light up runs out, you just simply plug it back in, charge it back up, and then you get light up again. Or you can just literally leave it plugged in. So you've got the best of both worlds, and even more. You've got so many options there. If you want to plug it in, like me, I like stuff plugged in. Plug it in, and you can just literally buy a long USB cord. You can buy a USB to socket, and just plug it in, or you can literally charge it, put it on display, and then turn it on when you want. Now, all First Figures light ups do use that, which is great. So, like, I'm really excited because, like, my Gutsy X that I've got on order, that's got all the moving lights for the base. So that's going to be great to be able to have that plugged in. So, I think we're done for that part. I didn't think we'd be at 21 minutes, but hey ho. We're going to grab him, stick him on display with Sif and Artorias, and we'll be right back. And we're back. And there you go, guys. There's the 3 of them that are out so far. Like I say, Artorias looks really big against him. He really does. If you look at the sides of the heads, Artorias is twice the size of the hands. Artorias in a crouching position, so he's not exactly, if he was standing up straight, but it's not all just the height, it's the overall mass. If you look at the size of Artie's arms compared to Solaire's, you can instantly see that he's a lot larger. And then Sif's not really in scale of anything, but she totally works. And the lineup's just looking great. When Ornstein comes, Ornstein's going to be a huge piece. So Ornstein's taller than Sith. And obviously he's more museum style, so against Solaire that's going to look great. But come on, First Figures, give me some more NPCs. That's what we'd like to see. You can see there the base. Actually, the colours look a lot better here. A bit more true to what we get. So there you go, guys. First Figures Dark Souls. Maybe I'll pick up Mimic cheap at some point. But I'm really, really hoping that after Nito is done, that we get back to some of the cool stuff. For me, anyway. Everyone's got their own favourite stuff in Dark Souls. I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be happy with Nito. Also, actually, while I'm here, I just got to say this took so long for setup because I've got such big statues now. It's getting a pain in the arse to move them around. So this isn't my final display, as you can probably tell. But we've got everything's got to be crunched in, and there's only more to come, guys. But there you go. I did say next review would probably be Gav Zero, and then this pops up out of nowhere. I do know that my next review will be another Damn Toys Dino piece. Well, I say Dino, it's Smilodon, also known as a saber-toothed tiger. So stick around for that, guys. It should be later this week, hopefully this weekend. But there you go. That's Solaire, First Figures, 1/6 scale, exclusive edition. Keep doing what you do, First Figures, and yeah, I'll be happy. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.